Shedeur Sanders' preseason debut didn't just produce a tidy box score, it created a fresh set of problems and possibilities for the Browns. On paper, 14 of 23 for 138 yards, 2 passing TDs, 2 sacks, a 113.9 first-half passer rating, and 0 turnovers. In context, a fifth-round rookie bumped into the starter role because of injuries, who'd taken virtually no first-team reps in camp. That combination is why this performance matters beyond the highlight clips. Start with the immediate takeaway. He executed. Both touchdown throws were instructive for different reasons. The first, a bootleg back shoulder dart to Caden Davis after a muff punt, showed timing, touch, and patience. The patience to let the route develop, the timing to fit a precise ball into a crowded window. The second, stepping up in the pocket and delivering a tight strike into the end zone, demonstrated set feet accuracy and the ability to operate inside the hashes under stress. Those are not rookie flukes. Those are teachable, transferable skills NFL coaches value. Equally important was how he handled a variety of situations. He moved between shotgun and under center looks, worked red zone series, executed a quarterback sneak for a first down, and threw from his own end zone into pressure. That kind of situational reps in a single outing gives coaches real film to study, not just a few pretty throws, but evidence on micro decision-making, read progressions, protection checks, timing routes, and play action mechanics. For a QB with limited camp exposure, that breadth of game reps is rare and valuable. Now the caveats. Preseason defenses are curated. Coordinators limit the gauntlet of disguise packages and rarely unleash their full rush arsenal. Sanders didn't face consistent multi-front stunt/twist pressure or an entire quarter of relentless heat designed to force quick decisions. He did absorb 2 sacks and had moments where he held the ball a beat too long, especially on a fourth down sequence that ended incompletion, which flagged areas of concern: footwork under duress, pocket reset speed, and progression discipline when the rush arrives faster than coaching scripts suggest. These are fixable with reps, but they're the difference between a developmental backup and a starter. The reaction from inside the league, notably that shocked text from a high-ranking AFC North executive, carries weight. Executives and rival coaches aren't moved by celebrity buzz. They read tape. When trusted evaluators voice surprise, it means the film showed process, not just results. That external validation will accelerate how Cleveland's front office and coaching staff evaluate Sanders. He's now not just an intriguing name, he's a legitimate variable in roster math. Which brings us to the roster calculus. The Browns entered camp stocked with options. Joe Flacco as the veteran starter, Dillon Gabriel as a day 2 pick with upside, Kenny Pickett as an acquired former first-rounder, and then Sanders as the cheap, controllable rookie. NFL teams almost always prefer controllable upside, a low-cost quarterback with years of team control, if the on-field production is credible. Sanders' stock flipped from interesting low-cost asset to high upside candidate worth keeping. That makes the Browns' decisions more complicated. Carry 3 quarterbacks and keep Sanders on the 53, try to stash him on the practice squad and risk losing him on waivers, or default to draft pedigree and veteran certainty. His tape now pushes the needle toward keeping him active. Practically, what must happen next for Sanders to cement this momentum? First, reps under real pressure. Coaches need to see him process late developing coverages, handle stunt-heavy fronts, and make the right reads when his first read is taken away. Second, situational scalars. 2-minute offense, 2-minute defense against situational rushes, and third and long conversions. Third, red zone consistency under tighter windows. If he repeats the accuracy and composure on those tests, Cleveland will be hard-pressed to justify cutting him or burying him on the depth chart. There's also the intangible dynamic, attention. Deion Sanders posting celebratory social content, LeBron chiming in, and national media focus create a circus potential. That's a double-edged sword. It raises his marketability and the franchise's profile, but it can also inflate expectations and create locker room distraction. Shedeur's post-game composure, measured, focused on growth rather than hype, was precisely the response coaches want. He handled the noise well. Now the Browns must manage in a way that preserves a meritocratic environment. Finally, the competitive ripple effects are immediate. Dillon Gabriel's standing took a hit. Pickett's health and availability suddenly loom larger. The Browns' front office is now accountable for choosing between a cheap rookie who flashed and higher invested alternatives. That choice will affect offseason planning, practice squad strategy, and even potential trade conversations. In short, Friday night wasn't a final exam, but it was a crucial midterm. Shedeur Sanders turned an audition into an argument. Coaches, executives, and rival evaluators now have to weigh him seriously. The next week of practice reps and the next preseason game against tougher looks will answer whether this was a promising first step or the start of a true roster stake. Either way, Cleveland can no longer treat Shedeur Sanders as a curiosity. He's a consequential player in the Browns' quarterback equation. Shedeur Sanders made a loud first impression in Cleveland's preseason opener, and even an AFC North front office official admitted to being actually shocked by how well the rookie looked. Thrown into the start after hamstring injuries sidelined Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel, and with Joe Flacco held out, the fifth-round pick from Colorado entered the game with almost no first-team practice work. Head coach Kevin Stefanski told reporters he planned to give Sanders roughly 50 snaps, and the rookie took full advantage. Through the first half, Sanders was 11 of 18 for 103 yards, 2 touchdowns, a 113.9 passer rating, and a 10-yard scramble for a first down. Both scoring throws were to Caden Davis. The first, a well-placed play-action bootleg into the back of the end zone. The second, a tighter, more aggressive strike after Sanders stepped up in the pocket. He later lofted a 30-yard pass to Luke Floria that resulted in a one-handed sideline catch, and he threaded a 19-yarder to Gage Larvadane from inside his own end zone under pressure. Those moments, operating from shotgun and under center, executing in the red zone, converting third and long, and improvising when lanes closed, highlighted Sanders' poise. On the broadcast, veteran QB Joe Flacco complimented the rookie's decision-making, noting that Sanders got the ball out quickly while still showing the ability to extend plays when necessary. That positive reaction extended off the field. NFL insider Jordan Schultz shared a text from a high-ranking AFC North executive who wrote, "It's early, but wow, actually shocked at how good he looks." To be fair, the tape wasn't flawless. Sanders overthrew a wide-open Dylan Sampson on a deeper shot and held the ball too long on a failed fourth down attempt. He was sacked twice and showed the sort of rookie inconsistency that comes from limited preparation time. Still, for a player who had been fourth on the depth chart and lacked starter reps in practice, the overall performance was eye-opening. Context matters. Sanders' fall to the fifth round was one of the draft's wildest slides, and the Browns did not have immediate plans to thrust him into the spotlight. But preseason is about opportunities, and Sanders answered when Cleveland handed him one. Stefanski indicated Sanders will get more game reps next week against Philadelphia, and the Browns will now have to weigh what they saw on tape against the team's existing quarterback plans. Bottom line, it's too early to declare a depth chart shakeup, but after Friday night, Sanders has earned a closer look. Coaches and evaluators will study the tape, and the Browns' quarterback conversation just became a lot harder to ignore.